know there's some men that have told me that they've been on the girl's phone as lunch and dinner.
Oh, hell no.
You know what I'm saying? Like they've had, a girl has saved their number and their contact as lunch and dinner.
It's only funny to me because I always try to like look at things both ways. Where I know men save women in their phone as something crazy,
right? But
like
women
a
do it
crazier
too.
name,
Absolutely,
like late night little wet emoji or something. You know, like
wet.
Yeah. See, exactly. Like, and y'all are just lunch and dinner, but okay.
OMG, that's how we live. Okay, let's go. 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 Okay, let's go.
Welcome, y'all. Welcome to another episode of 7 p.m. in Philly.
Right?
We are back. We are back again. Motherfuckers is getting sick out here.
Man, we can't catch a motherfucking break,
man.
bro.
At all.
Everybody was getting sick. Who got sick first?
Scoot.
Scoot got sick first.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that shit was
I think
crazy.
he was the super spreader.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Don't put that on me. Don't put that on me.
Somehow it was your fault
You
that
see
I
how
was sick.
I go into red territory and I come back sick, but COVID is fake, though.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Then after Scoot got sick.
I feel victimized by that sentence because of what just happened to my body. So
And I was
please.
down in Florida, man. I was having a good old time.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, I come back and I can't fucking move. I can't breathe. My face is all congested. I'm all like swollen and my chest is on fire. And I'm apparently in Florida, they don't wear masks either. So, like, I don't know, man. It's
Well, no one's really wearing masks that much.
Yeah,
anywhere.
that's not a thing anymore.
Nah,
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, nah.
I think
better.
people are just like, listen, either you sink or you swim.
Facts. I wore a mask too when I got back because I had to go to DC for a day.
Right
When I got back. So I got back on Monday. I had to go to DC on Wednesday and I was feeling sick on Tuesday. And I wore a mask because I'm trying to be a responsible individual and not spread it. Like you just called me a super spreader.
And then after that, we kind of waited for Scoot to get better, and
Whole week.
Yeah.
and then G
Yeah.
was like, "Yeah, I could come in, but I don't know how effective I will be."
I feel like I sent a voice memo at some point, but I
Yeah,
don't remember.
you did.
You guys were like, stop talking.
Yeah, it was like, "Yo, go back to sleep, bro."
Yeah.
Right. So
No, that
This is G, a
morning, I
red
remember
fox.
I like took all of my vitamins, like thinking super casual. It's just a head cold or whatever. Like, I'm good. I'll see y'all in a couple hours.
Yeah.
Right,
and then
right.
a couple hours went by and I was like, woo.
Not happening.
Yeah,
But that's what happened to me too. That week we were supposed to have a meeting. I was like, yeah, let's get it, 7 p.m., whatever. And I was like, I can't do it, man. I just can't do it.
Yeah.
My voice was gone. My chest was, like I said, on fire.
Yeah.
That shit was
The
crazy.
chest tightness was crazy.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah,
Facts.
so then G got sick, and then it was kind of like, all right, yo, let's wait it out, and it seemed like she was sick forever.
Oh, I was. I literally
It
was.
just- it just wouldn't stop, man.
I think
It
I
just-
got like a text every single day, like, are you still alive?
right. Are you okay?
And I was like, I don't know. Like, I could have died. and this is just all an
dropped
illusion.
the picture. She dropped the picture in the chat, and
I should have took a picture. Yo.
Wait,
yo,
I did?
Yo, you dropped the picture in the chat with you in bed with like, and I was just like, yeah, bro. And then I
was
called
like evidence.
I called Scooter. I said, yo, bro, G's not gonna be around for like a good week and a half.
No,
dog.
it
we
really
gotta figure
hurt.
something out, bro.
It hurt. And it was right before starting, the new job. So I'm
Yeah.
just like, oh, God.
We'll
They're
get
gonna
into
think
that.
I know. I'm like thinking that I just said that, and the episode before was me talking about how I have too many jobs.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Everyone,
Right.
like
She got another one.
At
She got
this-
another one.
At this point, people are
Jamaican
gonna
G.
like think that I have a problem.
The hardest working woman in
Like,
America,
I
right
just
here, bro.
walk around and I look for help signs. It's like,
Nah, yo.
hiring.
I wish I would have took a picture of G because, yo,
oh yeah, you came into my
I
apartment.
came into your apartment.
I had no
dropped
idea.
I dropped you the tea and stuff off, and G was face down in the bed. And Eddie was at the foot of the bed just looking, like wanting to jump off. But like, I'm like, Eddie, shh.
Which is crazy because she scares the shit out of me at like 3 a.m. when Dane gets home from work and
Start
she
going
hears
crazy?
the door. She'll like wake up out of her sleep barking and
Yeah.
it's scared. Like it gives me like heart palpitations.
Oh, yeah.
She is and this is Dane we're talking about.
Yep.
She just let a whole stranger basically come in the apartment.
Whoa. You know that's my niece now.
All right.
You know that's
But
my niece.
still, like,
I'm
she's
the
gonna-
dog whisperer.
this is like supposed to be my like protector so I can peacefully sleep, and she's over here just making eyes and footsies at Scoot while I'm literally face down fighting for my life.
Fighting for her life.
I had no idea he was in the apartment.
I was like shh, Eddie, shh, don't wake your mom up.
Oh my God. Yeah, when you texted me and you were like, oh, something on the counter. I was like, on the counter?
Yep.
I was like, when did you get here?
You was gone, man. You was gone.
Yeah.
So it took us a while to get back, but we here, man, and I'm happy. I'm excited. Big news.
Yeah.
Big news. We had 10,000 subscribers, y'all. 10,000.
We gotta clap that up. We gotta clap that up.
Hell yeah.
10,000
10K.
subscribers, man. It just keeps getting better and better.
It does,
and
man.
bigger and bigger.
We can't reach 10K without giving a special shout out to our people out in Yemen. Man.
Yo, Yemenis.
Shout out Yemenis,
Shout out to my folks out in Yemen, man. Yo, I had no idea where Yemen was. I looked it up on the map.
Yep.
Wait, so we don't know like how this happened?
Bro,
They fuck with us.
So
Okay.
pretty much
Just
it's kind of like when you deal with the whole YouTube thing, like, you know, in order to get out of like the riffraff, you gotta like kind of boost your episodes and so on and so forth. So, you know, you could pick the countries where you want to kind of like distribute it to. And you know, when I first started, I was just like kind of like, all right, I'm gonna distribute it to everywhere, and Yemen was one of them. And they just been showing love and
all year
round.
All
and
year.
like they'll subscribe, and then, you know, under certain episodes, like I've gotten like long messages in like Arabic and all that, and I'm just kind of like, how the fuck do I read this? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, so I had to like screenshot it, put it in Google Translator, and then all that stuff. And like, you know, the one lady, she wrote about like, you know, how the podcast gives her life, just seeing people living throughout all the tragedies that's going on. And like, you know, brother, keep doing the things that you're doing. So it was actual love. And I was just kind of like, damn, bro. Like, I felt like I did my job because I reached at least one person. You know what I'm saying? So it definitely feels good. And
it's big love.
Yeah. So shout out to Yemen. And shout out to everyone else who subscribed and got us here to this point, man. So it's only gonna get bigger, y'all.
It's only gonna get bigger.
We love it.
We love all the eyes, all the listens, and you know, all the attention is great. And you know, it's bigger than us.
Absolutely.
It's bigger than us. And we'll never lose sight of that. Ever.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. A lot of people, they're looking for like 1 million subscribers. Bro, we got 10,000 subscribers. Like, if we never get another group of subscribers ever again, bro, we got 10,000 people that fucks with us.
That fuck with us.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a big thing, man.
Like,
it's a
for
milestone.
real, though.
Yeah.
Like, there's certain people that can't even get one person. You know what I'm saying? So we get 10,000 people to subscribe, took the time out to hit that subscribe button to fucks with us. That's a big deal, man. And a lot of people may not look at it as a big deal, but it's a big deal to me, and I'm sure it's a big deal to y'all.
We should do something. Baby. We should do something, man.
I mean,
we should get some merch or something.
Oh, I mean, we
should get some merch for the people.
Yeah, of course. We should definitely get some merch out. That'll be in the works.
Yeah.
We got our stickers.
We got our stickers.
I gotta give you
stickers.
It's actually
I need my stickers.
Yeah, it's actually in the whip. I'll give it to y'all. So if y'all see 7 p.m. stickers out around Philly, around everywhere, take a picture and send it to the IG. Like, or just post it. Like, yo, I see y'all out here.
Big love.
Yeah, that'll be cool, man. That'll be cool for sure.
Absolutely, man. Y'all ready to get into it?
Absolutely, man. Let's get right into it.
Let's get right into it, man. This is a pretty big, a big topic. This hits home for me personally, and I'll get around to it. I want to hear you guys' thoughts. But you know, we be on IG, especially summer's just wrapping up, right? Yeah. We be on IG a lot, and nothing is for the curiosity anymore. But it is a big topic, and especially I got a niece. I got a 13-year-old niece, and I'm starting to hear these things being talked about around these, you know, these circles. And even when we were in middle school and stuff, it was talked about. But, you know, body image issues is a big thing that people deal with. And I want to know, like, how do y'all personally deal with it? Do you deal with it? Have you ever dealt with it? And like, what can we give to people to like that are dealing with it? What type of like words can we give to them?
I mean, I think it's definitely talked about more with women. Like it's more apparent for us because, and it's kind of just an assumption now that like women go through this issue. Not to say that they don't. I think just in general, it's rare to come across anybody who doesn't struggle with this because there's constant comparison everywhere. And even if it's not something that's ongoing for you, but it's possibly a thought, even just when you're, kind of coming into your body. It's not like your body never changes. Mm-hmm. So just trying to understand the changes that are going on with your body. Is this normal for me? Like talking to people like that are around you to figure out, are you going through this too? Yeah. Is it just me? Am I an oddball? Like, did you go through some sort of bullying that led to your body issues? And I think everyone assumes that if you are overweight or if you are larger that you're having more issues, or if you're
you can't be beautiful,
or if you're like super skinny, you're having more issues with body image. But I think it's so hard now, more so because there's so much access to ways to change your body. Mm-hmm. Whereas before, I remember growing up, it was just like, okay, here's the magazine. This is what the celebrity that I like looks like, or this is what the popular person in my class who has attention and seemingly is winning looks like. I want to look like this person so that I can also, you correlate that, I can also win. Or this person has like a significant other or something, and that's what they look like, and that's what I want to look like. Okay, I'll eat this, or I'll work out, or I'll wear a waist trainer, or I'll wear a certain bra or something like that to make yourself feel like you're able to achieve that standard. But now it's like, okay, there's pills, there's procedures, there's needles, there's all these things that Ozempic. You have access to. I mean, even just the Ozempic is, stop, it's going to be stuck in my head.
Every time I hear that shit, that's so stuck in my head. My bad.
So catchy. But I think for like, even just younger girls now, like there's so much access to being able to change these things instantaneously. Yeah. And that I think I saw a podcast recently about these girls who not necessarily were like pro or like anti-surgery, but they've had a lot of surgeries, and they were talking about the fact for them specifically that like it just would never stop. And it got to a point for one of the girls where she felt like, what did I do? Like, and it's already too late. Like, what did I do to myself? And I can't undo it. But at this point, like, where do I go? Because I've already felt like I've messed up my body trying to achieve something. And it's like, well, why would you do that in the first place? Right. There's a lot of campaigns that are like, let's love our bodies. Right. Yeah. But then it's like, but how? You know, because we're still like putting so much like pride and emphasis on those bodies that are seemingly like unrealistic.
Sure. Yeah.
Over let's like have body positivity. Like I don't even know how to go about that. Like,
I got a question.
The individual too.
My fault to cut you off.
No, you're good.
I got a question though with that, what you just said. For those people who are like she said, now what do I do? That person, right? Mm-hmm. For those type of people, do you think there is a destination that they can reach? Like, because I feel like they're searching for something and then they get it and then they're searching for more. Is there like a destination that someone can reach if you're already in that boat?
Yeah, I don't know. And that's the problem.
I be asking myself this all the time.
For me, I honestly think that what we need to do as a society is realize that not everything is for everybody. Fact. My body may not be for you. My body may be for someone else. Yeah. And you got to understand, like, some people appreciate a thicker woman. Yeah. Some people appreciate a thicker man. Some people appreciate a skinny man. Some people appreciate a skinnier woman. Like, I mean, it all depends of what people like. Not everybody, like, you're not going to be everybody's cup of tea. And I think that with social media, we try to fit in every single box. Right. Mm-hmm. We try to appease everybody and make everybody happy, where it's not a realistic thing. It's not. You know what I'm saying? As long as you're comfortable with your body and you're happy with what you have and what you can give out, and you'll find your group and the people that appreciates you for that. I think that's all that should matter. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like nowadays we want to make everyone happy, and that's not realistic. It's not a realistic goal.
It's not.
You know but like, how do you do that? What? You know, like how do you do that? How do you find the comfortability in your body to find your people when like you're constantly absorbing like I forget what the term is for it, but it's like the pretty privileged people like are seemingly reaping the rewards.
Acceptance. You got to accept where you're at. And if you want to get better, you got to like do the work to get better. But you also have to understand your body. Like that takes like going to doctor's appointments. That takes maybe like working with a trainer. You got to understand your body. A lot of people don't understand their bodies. What are the right foods to eat for your blood type?
Right.
A lot of people don't understand what are the right workouts to do for your body type.
Right.
And that, I think just accepting what it is and then working from there. And we have so much access to information, but we don't accept it.
Yeah.
Right? We think that, okay, Steve over there was on fucking steroids and Scoot over here is anorexic. Steve can't be the same person. Right. But we want to compare ourselves to that person because we might see what attention he's getting and vice versa. And it doesn't work like that. And I think women compare themselves at least more openly than men do.
Yeah.
And we also got to accept everybody has a different body type.
Right.
Well, yeah.
And I think a lot of men struggle behind closed doors with it.
Facts.
And I'll tell you guys this story. And that's what brought this into my attention because, my son's 13. Yeah. And, he's going through his growth spurt and he's becoming a man and so on and so forth. Yep. And he was talking to a girl and, she was kind of like making fun of him because he was short. And
he's not short.
But listen, because a lot of the kids are in this high school are taller than him. You know what I'm saying? And he came to me and he asked me a question. He was like, Dad, is it fair that, this girl can call me short, but if I was to call her fat, I'd be wrong. And I said to him, that's a good question. Yeah. And I said, we could talk about it on the pod.
Your son for sure. That's a you question for
it is a question. but it's the truth because it's like for a lot of men they face a lot of insecurities with being short. Because it's kind of like, what's the first thing you hear, especially as a woman? I'm sure you've probably heard a girl say to, he's too short.
Oh yeah,
all the time. It's always a thing. You know what I mean? Oh, he's too short.
King.
Oh, he's look at short king. Short king. Short. Yeah, short ball head king. You know what I'm saying?
Whoa, not the ball head.
Right,
my hairline is nice.
No. Now he ball head.
But that's what they throw onto that. You know what I'm saying?
They do.
You mean so? It's always a shaming of men that men don't openly talk about it and say like, yo, I wish I was taller. Yeah. But I have a homie and he'll say it. He'd be like, yo, dog, man, if I was your height, man, I'd get all the bitches. I get all the bitches.
I mean, I think it's just like, I'm trying to like think of the right words here, but I think maybe it's just, again, it's types. So a lot of people just might have a similar type when it comes to height. And part of that might be because of this beauty standards or like relationship standards that we place on what we think the perfect couple is, right? And this might be really like outdated views on things. That's deep. But it's just like, okay, like when we had looked at like the American family, right? And you look at the picture, the woman was always smaller. Yeah. Like she was always smaller, petite, housewife. She could put on heels and still like reach up. So like, even though you might not like think, oh, that's influencing the way I viewed what I want, it might have, you know what I mean? Like the
subconsciously
same way, like
for sure.
The Disney princess stories like created issues with like women's relationships with men, like how they thought that they needed to be a certain way to get this Prince Charming. So that could be a part of like the short thing. Yeah. But that's also too, being okay with your body. Like if you're short, you're short. Like you can't change that really about yourself, but there's people out there who don't care.
Right. Yeah.
But like, look at Zendaya and Tom Holland. Like she is towering over him in heels and she looks fantastic. And he's right there like, I'm gonna stick by my woman.
Confident too. Yeah. I give him a shout out anytime
I mean, money helps. But he's rich.
Oh, absolutely. So. I mean, he could be a midget. You know what I'm saying? I'm rich. You know what I'm saying?
And my jaw bad.
But I do think as far as like the same way, like, men, if we come out and call a woman fat or we call a woman this or whatever, we get crucified or reprimanded for it. You know what I'm saying? I think it should be the same thing for when women are calling men short. You mean, or just be like, I don't like him, he's short. You mean, like, I think there needs to be some type of like, you know what? I'll keep that to myself, or just be a little bit more kinder to men, because I think a lot of men do suffer behind closed doors from being short.
I agree with that. If you ain't got nothing nice to say, then don't say nothing.
Right.
But we live in a world of double standards. Yeah. So a woman calling a dude short is less impactful than a dude calling a woman fat.
But how?
That's life.
I mean, I get it, but it's kind of like, you're still hurting that person's feelings.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of like, what are we going to put, like, you know, like, hey, you know what? You hurt my feelings this much, but I only hurt your feelings that much. It's still hurting someone's feelings. And I think we need to be more.
Double standards are a motherfucker.
I get it, but I think we need to be more aware of how we go about, like, you know, talking about people, especially men, because we're supposed to be these strong, this and that. Men got feelings too. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? If I was a short nigga, I would have been like, yo, my feelings would have been hurt. Thank God I ain't short. Yeah. But I mean, at the end of the day, like, I can see it. It's kind of like, damn, bro, there's nothing I can do. You can get a surgery, but that's not a thing. Like, I mean, but there's nothing I can really do about that.
Yeah.
I can't eat some more Flintstones and get taller. Like, there's nothing that I can do to become taller. And I think people need to the Flintstone vitamins. This motherfucker. We're gonna cut this part, bro.
Yo, that's wild.
No, keep it in there. He still has those in his cabinet.
They damn sure in my Serato. I'm still trying to get tall, nigga.
But there's nothing we can really do to become taller. So I think people need to become more aware of when we're judging each other. Facts. Of our of our self-being. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
I mean, I think that's fair. It's so interesting to me to hear like double standard where it's like the opposite, because usually it's like it's a double standard where men can do things but women can't.
Absolutely.
And I think that's like the majority of most things.
It is.
But I'm also thinking about when you're talking about like, oh, we need to be sensitive about men's feelings, like, and I'm just like, I'm always trying to think like, where do we get these things? Like, because it's not just like you collectively woke up and like similar ideas just, I mean, well, there's the collective unconscious, but we're not going to get that deep into theory. But
we'll save that for after dark.
Yeah, and I don't know how extensive that is beyond like things like blinking and like that type of stuff. But I think, you know, how many times did you grow up hearing in some capacity, you know, you need to be sensitive about talking about women's bodies, or don't say that to your woman or she's going to be pissed, or like you better tell her she looks like this. Right. So you've kind of grown up with that sensitivity around women. Yeah. And I don't think the same has been said about men. Facts. But I will say, I do remember about the height thing, because, you know, you're being taught about this like Napoleon complex, right? Yep. So I think the issue with being short has been talked about a little bit, but I think the issue around like the men's feelings hasn't been as, you know, blown up as it is for women. For sure. So like, yeah, you definitely shouldn't say things about somebody's character that could make them feel bad about themselves, like with the intention of like hurting them. And I think that's just learning for everybody, because sometimes people might not realize that they're saying something to hurt people. And I think for men who are shorter, like, you know, there's somebody for everybody. Like
absolutely, for sure. You know what I mean? Absolutely. Because when you watch these shows, the first thing be like, yeah, I want my man to be, he got to be tall, 6'5", 6 foot, something like that. You know, that's always the main criteria. Long hair, a beard.
Long hair?
Not long hair, but like hair. Yeah. I mean, he has to have hair.
Oh, hair, okay.
Yeah.
Can't beard. Have the Sherman Hemsley.
You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, you know, there's always these criteria.
But men do it too.
Well,
we do. I was just about to say the same.
You know,
we do.
Like they have like a type or a type of woman that they prefer, but necessarily.
I think a type and mandates are different.
Okay.
I think a type is like, okay, I like a girl who's short, a little thick here, or even like I like a pudgy girl, like I like a thick joint, or like I like a super skinny girl. That isn't to say I don't fuck with nobody who's skinny. I don't fuck with anybody who's got a bob haircut.
I feel like girls will say that though, but then a lot of women that I know that are in relationships or like have gotten married, like that's not who they married. So you know what I mean?
Right. But
like you had that type, but like, girl, you settled with the dad bod.
Right.
Facts, yeah.
But not
settled is the key word. And that's it.
Right. But I do feel like a lot of times, like, it's a deal breaker.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
he's too short. Deal breaker. I can't do it.
Maybe when they're like dating it, but that's like a maturity thing too. Like you have to start to like, when you're dating and you're trying to find your partner, you will love them outside of these parameters that you set for what you want.
Facts.
So those things become less important to you, and then you start to really love those qualities about that person. And maybe they are specific to that person, but like at the end of the day, like the point is to find your person if that's what you're looking for.
Okay.
But you know, you can't just like completely cut out a bunch of people just because they're not meeting these parameters for you. And that's just anybody in general.
Absolutely. I mean, and for me, honestly, man, I really think that we should, stop judging our short kings. I mean,
Facts.
because at the end of the day, like, yeah, he's short, but he's maybe a good guy. He's financially stable. He's smart. He has all those things that you want, but he's short. So still give the person a chance just because, they may not fit all of your bucket list that you want.
Yeah.
I mean, still show them some love, man. And I just want people to know that and realize that men do have feelings.
Yeah.
And a lot of men deal with being short. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's important just to have it out there.
I've been short my whole life. Yeah. I've never been insecure about being short though. Like that's
the
never
way
been.
You said that.
I've been short.
Like he was tall at one point, and then he lost some inches.
I've been short my whole life. I did lose some inches, and they went to Dane.
Oh.
I'm never gonna let him live this down.
I mean,
Dane was smaller than me, and now he's got like 8 inches on me. It makes no sense.
But like you didn't lose them.
I
you
lost
never
them.
had them.
He stole them.
All right.
I lost them. No, but I've been short my whole life. Being short has never been like an insecurity of mine. I've never like actually felt like I'm short.
Yeah.
I've never.
how
and I know
tall
I'm
are you?
short. I'm 5'6".
Oh, we're the same height. That's why I'm like, you're not short.
I've never felt like
We're eye to
I'm
eye.
small. You know what I'm saying? Where my issues have come from is like in high school, I used to cut a lot of weight. So it was like when I was in season, I was like super skinny, super like ripped and shit. And then like I would put on a little fluff on the off season. That's where my issues came from because like people would start to identify me as this wrestler, this skinny dude. And then when I would put on a little bit of meat, it would be like, oh, fucking fluffy here. Yeah, pudgy ass nigga. You know what I'm saying? That's where my shit came from. And it was very interesting. And I never, ever thought I would have like image issues. I never thought about this shit. And then like when I stopped wrestling, I got grown and I stopped giving a fuck about cutting weight. And then like, I don't know. It's weird. It's just weird. I just never thought I would have body image issues.
Right.
And then they became a thing.
Right.
So it's just, it's super strange.
Do you think that like women have maybe genuinely had like a deflection of how they felt as though men had put beauty standards on them? So like naturally they're just like coming back with, things to say about men to kind of level them down.
I do. Yeah, I do.
I mean, yes, but that doesn't make it right.
It doesn't make it right.
No, but like, can we see like a point as to why that might have happened?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like,
for sure.
Cause and effect.
Yeah.
I do think so. Yeah.
So, but I just think it doesn't make it right. I just think that, we need to just be more sensitive and more thoughtful of how we categorize people or how we identify people.
And talk to people, man. Like people are human fucking beings. Like, talk to people the way you want to be talked to.
Right.
I mean, even so, like we haven't even touched on this, but like because you brought up, younger generation, filters.
Yeah.
Like
Absolutely.
that means so much because a lot of what our younger generation is learning is online. Yeah. Like a lot of their social skills that they're learning online where they can use these filters and put this standard on themselves that is unrealistic because it's not what you look like in real life. So I think that like a lot of younger generation might struggle more so with this body image than we might have just because of that too.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. And I mean, it's everything. It's everywhere. Social media, the Kardashians and all this stuff. Like I want to look like this person, you know what I'm saying? And it's kind of like, and it's causing a lot of things with it. It's causing a lot of people to lose their lives. It's causing a lot of people to spend money unnecessarily, and it becomes like an addiction. It's just gotten out of hand.
Yeah, it has.
with this, and the social media doesn't help. These celebrities don't help.
Nope.
And all you see on the news is kind of like, I'm gonna go to Sharita's basement, and she gonna fill my ass up.
I mean, I also think that like
with some fucking silicone cement.
We about to go to DR and get the
I mean,
joint.
I think if you feel as though there's an aspect about yourself that you really struggle with and you have the opportunity and the money to change it, like that's your right.
Yeah.
You can do that.
Yes,
absolutely.
And I don't
You
have
can't tell
anything
nobody to do what to do with their body.
And you don't know that
Nobody.
could be like something that really helps someone. It doesn't work for everyone, which is why you have these people who develop like a kind of addiction to changing things, because the problem isn't physical for them.
Yeah.
And they thought it was, but it's not. The problem is internal with how they feel about themselves.
Facts.
And that's why this addiction is like continuously growing. But I think if there's people who have like really struggled with like being bullied or ostracized, because people do tend to want like, what is it? Is assimilation the word I'm looking for? But I don't know if that's the word I'm looking for. But
I would just say acceptance.
well, yeah, they want acceptance. They want to be a part of a group. They want to feel. And if
so
someone
assimilation
looks,
is
right, but they want to like not be so different that like it's so hard for them to connect with people, because people do like to find similar groups to hang out with.
Community.
And I can understand that for sure. And I'm not going to name characteristics because it's up to the individual to determine what that is. But I get it, like why people would want to do something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I always just think that even if you want to go get surgery, you want to go do that, that's your prerogative. If that what makes you happy, that's fine. Mm-hmm. But understand with that, you're not gonna make everyone happy. Just because you got a big ass doesn't mean like everyone's gonna like it. You know what I'm saying?
Do you think if men had the option to like add height like to their bodies, they would do it?
They do it. Leg extensions are real.
Yeah,
right.
They do
I
it.
feel like sometimes the things that men struggle with, not saying this is limited to height, but like a common one, height, because they don't really have the opportunity to change that. There's more judgment on the women who will change something.
Yeah.
About themselves.
What men have been doing a lot recently has just been getting their body done. You know, getting their abs done.
Yeah.
Men.
Yeah. It's big.
I mean,
it's huge and popular now.
Yeah.
What does that mean, getting your abs done?
It's pretty much.
You just were sitting on that.
Yeah,
it's the truth.
I mean, a lot of guys, but for me, I don't throw shade on that. It's kind of like you do whatever you want. Like I feel like if women could do it, men could do it. Because one of the things that I know that men has been doing a lot is getting their hair back, hair restoration.
Yep.
You mean they've been going to Turkey and
shout out Turkey.
You mean they've been going to get their hair back, and I'm all for it. Like, listen, man. Like, if that's what makes you feel more confident about yourself, go ahead, bro. Go do that. You know what I'm saying?
Especially if it's safe and it works.
Right. I mean, go do that.
It's because it like seems so odd because it's newer.
Yeah.
That people find it like uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like watching the
hard to
videos,
grasp.
like the comments are like, ugh, like why would you do that? Or no, it's not for me or whatever. But it's kind of like, you know, when women first started getting BBLs, like people were like, oh, or men were kind of like, oh yeah, like her body looks crazy or looks good, like whatever. And then now I'm noticing a lot of men saying that they don't like it
because it's gotten out of hand.
It has gotten out of hand.
Where was the line?
Because my thing is like, I don't have an issue first off with anybody who has a BBL, whatever. But my thought process behind it is that if you get a BBL, if you want your body to look natural, you want me to look like, you want the person to look at your body and be like, I don't know, is it done? Is it not? But now I feel like you can look at someone's ass and it doesn't match their legs. Like it's just one big ass
or
thing.
even a waist.
Right. It just doesn't match. And it's kind of like, is that the look you were going for? If this is what you really wanted?
Yeah.
Or it just, they fucked you up because you went somewhere that you shouldn't have
Most
went
of the time it looks fucked up to me.
Yeah, it looks crazy. And I think that's for me, that's the issue. That's where it's kind of like, nah, I'm good off of this. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, it's like, I mean, like all that shit doesn't matter to me. Like if you have a fat ass, everybody wants a girl with a nice body, whatever the case may be. But at the end of the day, like you got a little something, I'm cool with it. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
I don't need all the extra, you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, it ain't realistic and you're not going to meet all the chicks that got big ass titties and big ass. It just don't happen. Either normally you got to get one or the other.
I think also it matters what you want your lifestyle to be, right?
Yeah.
Because if I want to be a stripper that goes to Starlets in New York and I don't got no ass.
You know about starlets.
Don't worry about what I know. Don't worry about what I know.
Damn, G, you got me with that one.
Listen.
Well, go ahead.
Worry about yourself. I'm in the house now.
Yeah.
But like if I'm in there and, you know, I've got a bunch of girls with BBLs, my money's affected. You know what I mean? Like the odds of somebody coming in there looking for my body type is different. So it depends on what you're doing. And, you know, I have to walk around during the day outside of work. So I'm going to look that way. And like sometimes that attention and that money is what people are paying attention to. And they're like, okay, this is the body type that I need to have those things, but they're not willing to do that career path. Right. So then now you're like, okay, I've got this body that, you know, again, that men are looking for in this environment. But, you know, I don't know. It's so challenging because there's so many arguments with the body image thing. And it's like, at the end of the day, why are we not prioritizing our health over what we look like?
Yeah. Facts. We could talk about this all day. And I agree with that. That's a good way to end off on this topic.
We'll have to come back to that.
Because like at the end of the day, why aren't we just all loving ourselves? Facts. Loving the body that we have a body.
Facts.
We're on this earth. We're living. You know how much of a percentage that you have to live on this earth? Yeah. Like, and that is what I got to remind myself of that too. Mm-hmm. Like you got to love yourself. You have to love yourself. I can't stress that enough. And I think that we just need to do it. There's no comparison. Like we're in stay in your lane. Right. Like what Steve is doing is different than what Scoot's doing on the body issue. Yeah. Like we have very much similarities in the way that we proceed with our lives, but that's totally different. What G is doing is different than what TT is doing.
Right.
Proceed with your life and just proceed with love.
Right. And understand that you're not for everybody.
You're not for everybody. And that's okay.
And that's okay. And that's
fine.
That is okay. You know I'm saying? Find your people. And at the end of the day, just remember that, you know, not everybody's going to love you and not everybody's going to find you attractive. Not everyone's going to find you beautiful. Find the people that do think you're beautiful and hold on to them.
And be cool with that. Yeah. And be cool with that.
Yeah. So
something that, I guess sometimes I'm not cool with. Because I don't be knowing what the hell is going on sometimes.
Right.
But I want to know, Steve, I'm going to ask you.
Okay.
When should a woman pull out her wallet? Because sometimes I'll be like, are you going to pull this wallet out or are you not? And I'm not okay with the assumptions.
It's tough, but
it's circumstantial, right?
It's circumstantial. But at the same time, like, all right. If it's a first date, I'm taking you out on a first date, especially if I ask you to go on a date. Especially, I think that's a big thing. If the person asks you to go on a date, so if I ask you to go on a date, I'm going to pay because that's how I feel about it. Facts. Because I asked you for this. You know what I'm saying? Because you didn't ask, you know what I mean? So why would you? You know what I mean? So I think that's only right. But I do like a little bit, like even if I asked you, if you just was like, yo, you sure you want to go half or whatever? I like that because it makes me feel like, yo, if I didn't have it, you would help me out also. Yeah. And that just shows like a kind of like a, what is it? Like a
consideration.
Consideration, but it's kind of like something like a forefront for what the relationship can be. You know what I'm saying? Or
foreshadowing.
Yes, foreshadowing. That's the word I'm looking for. Yep. A foreshadow of like what it could be. Yes. Like what could it, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, yo, you know what? If you ain't got it, I got it. I'll help you. Yeah. If you need help, and I'll be like, nah, it's cool. And it's kind of it's one of those things that kind of makes me smile a little bit. Like, that's cool. That's cute.
Is it the like I don't want to go to the party, but I just want you to invite me?
Hold up. Elaborate on that real quick.
You know, like the saying where it's just like you might not want to go out, but like you always want to be invited. Like you want the opportunity to say yes or no. Is that like the same thing you're saying?
Low key.
Yeah, low key. Yeah, for sure. You know I mean? Like I want to feel like you care about me also. And it's not just you. I think it's the consideration that goes both ways.
So we're talking about a first date?
No, not necessarily. He just used the first date.
I just used the first date as an example.
Okay.
My thing is,
but what if she asks you out?
If she asks me out, and
I'm going to offer my wallet anyway.
Because I always feel like, as a man, we're looked upon to be like, you know, providers and be the one that's.
But there's a reason,
like, you know
right?
I mean? I mean,
of course, yeah.
Historically.
Yeah, historically.
Yes.
I mean, but
Patriarchy.
right. And my thing is just kind of
G funny as shit.
yeah. My
I want to make sure we're clear.
right. so my thing is just kind of like I'll pull out my wallet, like I mean, even if you ask me, just because it's kind of like I care. Like I mean, I want to. It's one of those things because I'm that type of dude to where it's like I care. Like you know what? Maybe you don't have all of it, so it's just I think it's a form of consideration.
Yeah.
I consider your pockets.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I consider
Absolutely.
your financial situation.
And we both contributed to this. Again, I'm a very novice dater, but there's a level of like we're contributing to this evening.
Right.
Even if a woman asks, I have been asked out, and I'm always going to pull my wallet out because like we are contributing to this. This is like a community thing now. The thing that like irks me is don't assume that you're getting shit from this night.
right.
But you're gonna pull your wallet out regardless.
Yeah, to go.
So
half.
why wouldn't she assume?
Because don't assume that you're just going to get a free meal out of somebody because they asked you out. Or don't assume that, like, because if I got asked out, I'm not assuming that I'm going to get a free meal.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing that in the agenda being pushed. Oh, I wouldn't even go to Ruby Tuesdays with a nigga. You know, we talked about this a while ago.
Right.
That's the first thing that popped into my head.
Right.
Okay.
But like, and I want to hear your thoughts because I know you got thoughts. I see your brain running right now. But I just, the assumption that somebody needs to provide for your night out. If you don't got it, then don't go, is where I stand. And it depends. Everything's circumstantial, but talk to me, G.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking about things like circumstantially, right? Like you're saying, I want you to contribute, but like, what if they don't have the means to contribute? That means they can't go on a date.
No. If okay, all right, but don't ask me for out on a date.
That's what I'm saying. Don't ask me. That's
Don't
the
ask
only
me out on a
circumstance.
date if you don't have the money to contribute to the
Okay.
date.
If I'm asking you,
Because-
I'm not. The offer is nice.
Right.
I'm not expecting you to
Right.
pay, but the offer is nice.
Because the way I look at it is be like, yo, I want a gift, right? And it'd be like, yo, I bought you a gift, babe. I bought you a gift. Well, by the way, I used your debit card. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Facts.
It's like,
Okay.
Facts.
it's
I mean,
one
I
of
can
those.
see that. I can see that. I'm just like, I think I'm playing devil's advocate in a way.
Nah,
just
good.
because I know a lot of women who want a relationship where they're being taken care of, and that's their prerogative. It's not necessarily all women, but there are women who want that, and there are men who want to assume that role, right? So I think they're being upfront about it because they want someone to assume that role, and they want someone who's comfortable too, because there are men who are, right? Like I've definitely run into situations where men are like constantly being like, oh no, like I don't even touch your wallet, like not, it's disrespectful to me. And it could be a cultural thing too, right?
Yeah.
Like some cultures, like that's just how it is. Like
Yeah,
the men
yeah.
pays for things, and like it's seen as disrespectful for you as the woman. That's not your role in that relationship. So I think some
That's a
people are
slippery
looking
slope.
for that.
That's a slippery slope, though.
But like culturally, I think
That's
that's
a
a
slippery
thing.
slope.
Like
It is-
maybe
no,
not,
it is a thing,
maybe not
but it's a slippery
necessarily
slope.
in American standards. No,
But
but
Culturally, that's a slippery slope because those are the type of cultures that expect their women to like be submissive to them.
right. And I think
And that's
where,
what comes, that's the cost of that exchange.
right. But I think that's where, like, you know, we're trying to create this American dream style relationship where we're able to pick and choose the things
Absolutely.
that we like a la carte menu. Like, okay, I want him to be tall. I want him to pay for everything. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
there's a lot of that going on. And I think, you know, first date, this could be a completely separate topic, but like that we can get into another time. But first dates for me, I do not think y'all should be going to dinner. Like it is not only is
I
it
like that. I
awkward.
like that.
I agree.
Not only is it awkward, but now we're throwing in another aspect of the relationship that is financial, right? And it's like maybe in the first thing, that's not what we need to be
I like
talking
that.
about and focusing on.
Yeah.
Like let's focus on character first and then like start to dive into these issues. And I think it's also awkward. Like you're sitting, it's like an interview. You're like one-on-one, you're stuck with this person. There's no buffers other than your server. Like it's just weird in general. But I'll get into that at a different time. But like
Damn, that brings up so many questions.
it
for
does.
Me.
But like well, that's going to be something else. But that's just my opinion. But I think that like first dates if a man wants to assume more of like a traditional setting, you're going to pay.
Yeah.
Right.
Sure. Yeah.
And if you don't want to, you're running the risk of rejection. Yeah. Because a lot of women are expecting that. And that's your thing. If you want to do that, that's on you. Be prepared to be talked about in every group chat for the rest of your life.
For first dates, I do believe like you mean the man would pay.
Because it's usually him who's initiating.
Right. Yeah. But at some point, like I do like when a woman pulls out her wallet. Like
at what point? Like at what point in like you're dating this person?
I mean, it all depends, but it's kind of like first date. Maybe it depending on how we like. All right, we have a first date, but we don't go to another date for a little bit. But we're communicating, we talk a lot, whatever. We're kind of building with each other, and we feel a little comfortable. Second date, you can pull out your wallet. You know what I'm saying? I think that's appropriate, and I can be like, no, we're good. I got this one too. I mean, like, but I like the constant of like, yo, listen, man, like I don't need you to do everything for me, because it's kind of like I feel like sometimes women they want to be independent, but at the same time it's kind of like, nah, pay my bill. Yeah, like pay my meal. Like you can't have it both ways. You can't have it both ways. It's kind of like keep that same energy, keep that same like I want to be independent. Like yo, listen, I got it too. I got it too, babe. Like
the offer goes a long way.
Yeah, and I think it's just the offer, and I feel like a lot of times like when you don't offer, it's just kind of like yo, I'm gonna constantly keep paying for you, and it's kind of like nah, bro, that's not the way it works. Like. When are you gonna pay for me? When are you gonna do something nice for me? Because it's like, and that's the thing I say. Like, as men, we have feelings too. We want to be pampered. We want to be taken out. We want to, like
kings need nurturing too, y'all.
Right? You know what I'm saying? So I think
he ain't buying none of this shit.
But it's the truth.
I'm listening. This is active listening skills. See how I'm looking? I'm watching. I have eye contact, posture, okay.
Body language.
But it's really a thing, man. I feel like a lot of men like they feel like they're just being used, because I know there's some men that have told me that they've been on the girl's phone as lunch and dinner.
Oh hell no!
You know what I'm saying? Like a girl has saved their number and their contact as lunch and dinner.
It's only funny to me because I always try to like look at things both ways. Where I know men save women in their phone as something crazy,
right? But women
like
do
a crazier
too.
Name,
absolutely,
like late night. Little wet emoji or something, you know? Like,
wet.
Yeah. See, exactly. Like, and y'all are just lunch and dinner, but okay.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo.
I mean, but
lunch and dinner is wild disrespectful, G.
No, it is. I think
wet could be lunch or dinner.
I'm crying. I'm not saying it's right. I think that, like, again, for me, like, I know women on both sides of that. Like, I know women who want to be in a relationship where there are certain things that they don't want to pay for. And they view it that way. And like, they're just like, okay, I can do X, Y, Z, but, like, if we're going out, like, you're paying for it. And that's something that they have to discuss within their relationship.
Absolutely. Right. They got to figure that out.
Every relationship is different, but I think for me, early on is kind of like make a gesture. Like let me know that you listen, man, it's not all on you. You know what I'm saying?
We're talking about like outside of your like, millionaire, like extreme differentials.
Yeah, that's different. Because
that's different.
And that's something I think I talked about with Dane too. And just out of curiosity, like I was like, if we're in a position where you are making like millions of dollars, like what's your expectation of me financially? Because just out of curiosity, like do you expect me to contribute the same amount towards bills?
Hell no.
And that's something that for him, he's like, no. And some people might not agree with that, right? Like where you guys are saying hell no, but there might be someone who's like, yes, that's the same expectations. I'm working hard on my end and I'm making more money, but that doesn't mean that I'm making more money to relieve you of like contributing, right? And someone might view it that way. Yeah. But it's for you to determine within your relationship. But if outside of those like really large differentials in like making, a salary, we're talking about like the average relationship, right? So for me and Dane split a lot of things, and it's gotten to we've been together for a while. So it's gotten to the point where it's like, we don't really necessarily always talk about it unless there's something
kind of.
Yeah, like if there's something going on, like we communicate a lot about what's going on, especially with having worked in the service industry. We don't have like a standard of what we're making each week, each month. Like, so it's like, okay, I might be down bad this month or I might be down bad this week or something. We have to communicate with each other about that. And what works for us is just like, hey, you got me? Yeah, cool. Like, it's not even like thinking about it, or it's just like we both go and it's like, all right, I got this one or whatever. Like, we're not keeping score in a way.
Yeah, like yo, I got it last week, so you gotta get it this week. Like, yo, what's good? Like,
nah,
that's just a little too much for us. We're not doing that.
That's too much for anybody. Like, that's crazy.
I mean, I think keeping score in general in relationships is not going to work out well for you in anything. But like, I mean, I think Dane tricked me into our first date. He'll disagree. But I remember I went to go grab my wallet because we were friends and we were just out having dinner at we were sitting at the bar. So we're like chatting, whatever, having a good time. And then I go to grab my wallet and he had already slid his out. And I'm like, oh, this is a date. Like, I was like,
that's my dog.
I was like,
shout out Dane.
Shout out Dane. That's my dog.
I'm like, oh, he got me. But I think it's a personality thing too. Like for me, you know, it's hard for me to kind of accept freebies and help just because that's the way that I was like brought up and raised. So it's a little, it depends on who you're dating too. And like what their upbringing was, because if you're dating a woman who, let's say, had a father figure who like paid for everything, right? She has an expectation of a man in her life. Right. So you kind of, that's again why I'm saying like, don't have these first dates like where financial aspect is going to be a big talking point. Like try to figure that out like in other ways. Like go out talking, doing something that doesn't necessarily require a lot of money to get to know that about a person, because then when you go into a date now, like where you're sitting down at dinner, you have some background, like, and it's not this, is she going to pay? Like, where is she at financially? Like, is that something I'm comfortable with to date this person? Because if you feel like you can't support somebody else and you're dating someone who needs support, what are we doing? Oil and vinegar. Like, that is not a good mix. Why are you going on a date then? Like, you're going to have like this like irritation with this person when you already knew what it was, right? So it's just like you wouldn't choose to then proceed to a date where you have to support someone that way when you don't got it. And that's outside of like the disrespect thing, just the assumption like, oh, you're gonna just pay for everything.
Facts.
But I also feel like I would say women would have to be open to, you know what, let's just go grab a coffee and go for a walk and talk. Because, like, and they won't, a first date, we got coffee. Like, for me, that would be cool. Like, just grab a coffee, let's have a first date, and let's walk and talk.
The first thing, when I thought about, my fault to cut you, but the first thing I thought of when you said it, like, let's go for a hike, let's go on a hike or some shit.
Okay,
like
well,
that.
I will say that no. Because unless I know you, like that's a safety thing. I'm not going on a hike with you. Like, you gonna murder me.
Right.
Like,
Facts.
What are you talking about?
I'm not doing that. I mean, I'm black and we don't hike. So
any hike I've ever been on has been mad public.
Haitians don't hike.
Okay, but my first thought would be like, I'm not going on a hike with a stranger.
I gotta get my game up.
Right.
Let me help you out, sir, because it's giving creepy.
Right.
Damn. I thought that was kind of cool. My fault.
No. So for me, it's kind of like I feel like women have to accept that also. It's like, yo, he's taking me on a first date and we're just going to grab coffee and we're going to go walk at the park and have a conversation, get to know each other and see what's going on. Because I've seen guys that been like, oh, yeah, we're going to go on a date and we're just going to grab coffee and just talk. And it's kind of like a woman looks at him and be like, they automatically look at you as a cheapskate because you're trying to do a cheap date, and it's kind of like, oh, you're not going to take me to this freaking restaurant or Mr. Chow's or whatever.
That person isn't for you, right?
Facts.
Because that's not what you're looking for, right? Because if that's what you're looking for and that's where what you're able to give, you'd be like, hey, first date, I'm taking you to Steak 48, right? You're in a different position, and you don't. Okay, well, it's not for Scooter, so
hell no.
But I'm just saying, like, you would immediately be able to be like, okay, then this isn't for me.
Right.
Like, you shouldn't force that situation then to happen.
If somebody requests Steak 48 on the first date,
no, not a request. Like, I'm saying, if you got it, and you're trying to show what you got, you're gonna do that, right?
No.
Okay, well, Men do that.
Men do that.
Men
it's
do
not
that.
unheard
Men do
of.
that.
That shit
Men
is
do that.
crazy.
Yeah. But that's what
It's not though, because you have to think about like there's differences in people's like financial settings, right?
Right.
And that could mean nothing to them, right?
That's true.
That could
I
be
guess
like an
it's
Applebee's.
It's
to
all
them.
relative.
Facts.
Right.
Facts.
Relax. It's okay. Listen, if you got your coins and you want to take her out, take her out.
For me, it's not the money aspect. It's the like where are we at aspect. It's the level of.
You think that's implying a lot?
Because I think that for a first date, hell no.
Because you know why, I kind of agree with Scoot on this, because there's times where guys will be like, damn, yo, I took this shorty out to this, whatever, and then it work out. She ain't give me no booty, no nothing, not even a
Steak 48s comes with assumptions.
No.
Yes, it does.
No.
Shit.
Because if you're someone who lives that lifestyle,
it's nothing.
It's nothing to you, and you don't have that expectation. That's just a normal thing for you. They might eat there all the time.
Oh, no, you have that expectation, and if it don't happen, it's nothing to you.
No.
Shit.
I mean,
we gonna have to just disagree.
Yeah,
we can disagree.
I think it goes both ways, but I feel like obviously a lot of guys they have expectations at the end of the date, depending on how the date goes.
Okay,
or whatever.
but can we say that those expectations, because guys have those expectations, this might be why women have the expectation. Like, okay, well, if you have the expectation that you get in these cheeks after, you better pick up the bill.
Absolutely, I agree. Now that I agree with.
Like,
but if
you
you're
gonna
not
make me split it with you, and then I gotta open up my virtue?
No. Help. My virtue is fucking hilarious. My virtue is wild. Yo.
I'm saying, like, okay, like maybe some of us still believe that it is a meaningful exchange.
No, it absolutely is a meaningful exchange. And that's why I said that it can become transactional, because once you start getting into these levels, people have expectations, no matter what it is. Like, people have expectations.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask Dane when I go home.
Yeah.
Tell him to be honest.
Yeah.
Why would he lie to me?
Tell him don't give him the relationship answer.
Don't give the democratic answer.
Okay.
We don't have the relationship
Just tell
answer.
that nigga to be honest.
Right.
He is.
All right.
What am I going to do? I'm not going to say anything.
No, but like there are a level of expectations that men have. We're just speaking to you as men. There are a level of expectations that men have. If you know that wallet is not even going to be offered, you know that I'm going to be paying for everything. You know that this is what it is. Men have a level of expectation, especially when we talk about Steak 48.
So
or
like
any type of high level engagement.
Yeah, but I'm thinking of it like if someone's taking you to Steak 48, they have the bread for it.
But
yeah, they got the bread for it.
We live amongst a lot of bluffing motherfuckers, and we were talking about this earlier.
And we live in the jungle,
and it's like a lot of people they may act like they got something and they fronting.
Okay, but that is setting you up for failure. I don't know what to tell you.
And then they go home and they complain and be like, yo, I took this shorty to Steak 48.
Yeah.
I ain't get no cheeks, nothing.
But there's a way to impress.
Now I'm tight.
There's a way to impress people without creating unrealistic expectations in a relationship. That's your problem. If you don't know how to do that, you need to develop the maturity to learn yourself, learn what's right for you. And like you said, there's somebody for everybody. So if you're thinking that, oh, I want to be with this type of person who would attract this type, like this body type, this image, this whatever, and you don't got it, well, I don't know what to tell you. You're setting yourself up for rejection.
Facts. And you're absolutely right on that. And what I'm talking about level of expectation, we talk about, take you and Dane out of this equation for a second. If the man is the breadwinner, right, and the woman is not working, let's just say, there's a level of expectation that when he comes home from work, the house probably should be clean, there should be food, whatever. Let's call it outdated, whatever. But that is a level of expectation that a lot of men have if that's what they're going to be doing.
I mean, no, I get that. And I don't even have to take me and Dane necessarily out of that because there's still that expectation, right? Like if I'm working a lot this week and you're home a lot, I would expect you to kind of pick up some of the weight here. So everything doesn't need to be put on one person in the relationship. So
I'm going on a date with a shorty and I'm taking her to Steak 48 or anything, Brooklyn Chop House, whatever.
Ooh, what's that?
I know that wallet is not coming out, and it's not me. I'm generally saying me. And I know that wallet's coming out. There might be a level of expectation of some kitty cat getting touched tonight. That's all I'm saying.
Not even on the second date? Like,
fuck no. Because if this shit don't reach a second date.
But I think
it's
I mean, but you still got a good meal.
It's
you
a
just had to
jungle.
pay for it.
I had to pay for this. Two of them.
This reminds me of the oyster girl. Did you all see that video? The TikTok? It was trending like in the summertime. So. This girl recorded her whole date for TikTok, which I think is crazy.
That is
right?
crazy.
She got taken out on a date.
That's mad.
I don't think she didn't put him. She didn't put his face in it, but she was like slurping up these oysters, like tray after tray after tray of oysters. It was wild, but it was funny because it just like she's sitting there like holding her phone, like these oysters good, and then all you keep seeing is tray, and then like. She's ordering all these drinks and whatever. And then at the end of the video, she's saying that the person she was on a date with left. Left her with the bill. And I'm just like, well.
What the fuck do you expect?
You know, like.
Yeah. That's OD. That's very extreme.
Like, that's an extreme
Mr.
thing,
Lunch and Dinner didn't feel like being Mr. Lunch and Dinner today. You know what I'm saying? That's it. I'm done.
I feel like being Mr. Deuces.
Right. I'm out. I'm going home.
Now, this is another topic like we could talk about all day long because this shit is crazy. But before we get out of here, man, that's mad funny. I love that topic. Yeah. But we got to get into the great debate.
Yes.
We got to get into the great debate. And I've been seeing a lot of this. And I just want to say some of y'all are fucking trifling. But
he's so judgmental.
Low key. Low key. High key.
High key. If you know, it's high key.
But I got to ask y'all, and we can debate this because I think that we are all on different pages here. But
okay.
Do you use washcloth to wash your body in the shower?
I use this like silicone like rubber thingy that it like fits around my hand easily. Like it's like an extension of my hand.
Has it got fingers on it?
No, it's not the glove one. No, it's like a circle, and you can put your.
I think of the thing that you fucking.
No, it's like oh my god, I have to find a picture of it. But it's just like this like silicone thingy, and it has like different like size like. I don't want to call them bristles because they're not like hard like a bristle, but like it just like the soap like lathers better on it because like as you're rubbing, it just creates more of a lather. So I use that thingy like in place of a washcloth because the washcloth like kind of gives me like the ick a bit because
I feel like it holds on.
I just feel like you're rubbing around dirt on. I don't know because like that thing I can rinse off and then it's like a clean slate and then I can put new soap on it. But like I don't know the washcloth to me, and then like I just feel like. The washcloth somehow stays in the shower.
It does.
And it doesn't get washed time after. Like, you're not using a brand new one every time.
And
at least a lot of people aren't.
No matter how much you wring it out, like, you
and
can put
like
water,
crunchy.
you can still see the gray dirt coming off of it.
Right, whereas, like, if I wash a towel and I put the towel in the dryer or whatever, it's, like, soft and fluffy. But, like, you let it air dry and it's crunchy, like, it's dirty.
I don't like that.
I don't know.
What you use?
I don't use shit. I just use the bar soap, boy. I use the bar soap in my hand.
Oh, you use the bar soap?
I use bar soap.
So you hold the soap
I hold
the whole time?
I lather it up.
Yeah.
And you put it down.
And I put it down.
Okay.
And then I
was like,
I use my hand. But number one, I'm not sharing my bar soap with anyone. So if I want to use it, wash my nuts. It's on me. Because my thing is just like, I don't like the washcloth because I've tried the washcloth thing. I don't like it. Like, I feel like it doesn't wash my body the way it should. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And for me, like, as far as I know, no one ever called me stank. You know what I mean? That was over. You know what I mean? I leave the shower feeling, right?
I gotta sniff now.
I said, I smell like some ass.
Right? You know what I mean? Like, I've never, and I feel clean. Like, I use Dove soap, and I think it gets the, you know what I mean? I think it gets the job done. You know what I mean? And I don't.
Dove soap.
You don't like Dove soap?
I like Dove.
I like it for like it, but I think it's just like a bar of lotion. I don't think it actually cleans you. I think it might moisturize you.
I could understand
but
that.
Like I feel like you need that layer of like clean, like antibacterial soap first, and then like I don't know, it's just like a lotion.
I don't like Dove. I don't like Dove body wash. That's what
the body wash. I don't really do the body wash stuff.
Like,
I do the soap bar and it works fine for me. I've tried other soaps and stuff like that, and them shits make me feel like my skin feel like sandpaper.
Yeah,
only with Dove.
But then you gotta lotion it because it just stripped everything.
Right,
it just
exactly. So it's kind of like that's not what you're supposed to do in my skin. You're supposed to make me feel nice and
you gotta clean it and then you moisturize it. Like I use the Dial soap because we like not that I would use.
Oh, that dial makes me feel like.
Yeah, but I feel like it cleans the shit out of my skin, and then I
Yeah.
use something else to moisturize, like another soap to moisturize after.
See, I use Dr. Bonner's, and I love that shit. But I use a loofah.
Okay.
The loofah, like I feel like exfoliates my skin, get all the dead skin off of me, and then when I get out, I definitely moisturize right away. But I use a loofah. But I don't use the loofah for my face. I use my hands for my face.
Right.
For the most part.
Right.
Can you
but I have a backup.
him a loofah
Right.
in his face.
But that's the thing though, because like a
I
lot
have
of
done it before. I just
Why
don't
would
do
you
it.
do that?
But see, that's the thing
Exfoliation,
though.
yo.
But see, that's the thing though. A lot
Oh
of
my
people.
God, y'all have so much to learn about exfoliation.
No, because a lot of people be like, "Yo," and a lot of people are gonna judge me. They're gonna be like, "Oh, you don't use a washcloth, you dirty," or
Yeah.
"I'm gonna take your black card away."
Facts.
But it's kind of like,
100% that's happening
you
to
don't,
right now.
you
Yes,
don't,
it is.
you don't,
Pocket.
you don't use when you're washing your face. You don't use a washcloth. You use your hands, right?
Nah, sometimes it depends.
Some people
it depends.
do.
Some people use a washcloth for their face, and then they got a body.
Yeah, they have
wash.
like two.
Washcloth. Yeah,
I mean,
I know a lot of
that's-
people like that.
That's a lot. That's a lot going on.
Yeah.
That's a lot going on. And when you go to get your skin done, your skin routine,
use the hands.
if you go to your local esthetician,
Shout out team.
Yeah, shout out team. If you go to your local esthetician, they don't use any of that. They wash it. What they do, you use their hands and use all that. So for me, it's just kind of like it's only right that I only use my hands on my body. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like for me, you know, I wash myself and I wash myself twice. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I'll do and I do it again. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's the important part about it. Like if you're washing yourself right. Because a lot of motherfuckers don't know how to wash themselves right.
Some people don't wash their legs, bro. Y'all nasty out here.
Yeah, a lot of people
Y'all are nasty.
Yeah, right. You know what
Why
I'm
did
saying?
this get brought up? Because I remember this recently becoming a topic.
I
Like,
saw
in
this
the
shit
last
on
couple
the
years.
internet, and like people are like, "You don't have to wash your leg. Your legs will get dirty." Like what? And
You're
I
like,
tested
don't
this
get
shit out
dirty.
the other
That's
day.
not the argument I heard. I heard it
Whose
was just
argument
like
you heard?
I heard them saying like, well, when you wash up top, it rinses down and gets your legs.
That's
That's what I heard.
disgusting.
Nah, it's like the same thing with your feet. Like,
Yeah,
I mean,
what the
like,
fuck?
you gotta wash your feet, bro. You mean, like, you
Water
gotta.
doesn't clean you. Water and soap cleans you. And
they're saying
residue
the
soap
soap-
with dirt on it does not clean you.
right.
You sickos.
Right, right.
That shit is disgusting.
Right.
No, this shit grinds my gears. How you not go? You just go wash your
just
torso and no legs?
Never
Right.
in your life
Nah,
washed
just-
your legs.
Nah,
What
just
the fuck?
yeah, just no legs. Just kind of like
Hell
yeah,
no.
you gonna get what you gonna get today.
Oh
I
my
mean, that's
God,
it.
neglect.
They clearly don't use white towels either, because if they use white towels, that should be brown. That's disgusting.
Ooh, yeah, no,
Ew.
no, but nah. I mean, I can't do the washcloth business because like I've been to certain people's crib and some of y'all motherfuckers is nasty. Some of y'all is nasty. I've been to your crib and I seen your wash rag and that shit looks. Ooh, that shit look crazy. That shit look like a cum rag.
Yo, crusty.
I don't seen y'all shit. Y'all shit's hard as hell. I don't seen it. Y'all's
That shit
disrespectful.
don't even absorb water no more.
Bro, fam. Yo, that
That's
shit look
nasty.
like toast, bro.
Ew.
I mean, so
Hell
I seen
no.
y'all. So there's a lot of people out here gonna judge me because I don't use a wash rag. You need to judge yourself.
And judge your mama.
Judge your mama. Yeah.
That shit is crazy. But yeah, we all have our different means of cleaning up, right?
Right.
That shit is wild.
Yeah, but nah.
Do y'all say wash up?
You
I used to as a kid
up?
because
I'm
that's
about to
just
go
like
wash
what
up.
my
about
my
to go take a shower.
grandmom and my mom
You've
used to
never
say.
heard that?
Go
No,
wash
I heard
up.
it,
Yeah,
but I
go
said I'm
wash
about
up.
to go take a shower.
I might say that to Avia like sometimes. Go wash up.
Yeah.
Because I'm an old head at heart.
Yeah, I said that once in college, and my friends were like, "What?
Yeah.
It wouldn't
nah.
be washed down or something?" I was like,
Nah,
"What?"
Go wash up.
Yeah, go wash up.
Yeah.
Yeah, nah.
That's an old head thing. I think.
Oh, okay.
It's
Yeah.
a shower. I'm about to go wash my ass.
Yeah, go wash my ass.
Yeah, I'm about to go wash my ass.
I definitely don't say I'm about to go wash my ass.
Oh no, that's my go-to. I'm about to go wash my
I can
ass.
imagine you saying that. That's funny.
I can see her
I
saying
can
it
hear-
too.
I might go tell someone to go wash their ass, but
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say I'm about to go wash my ass.
Dang,
I could-
go wash your ass.
Yeah, I
He washes his ass.
right. I could see you going today and be like, yo, babe, I'm about to go wash my ass. Yeah. I'll be back. I'm about to go wash my ass.
I'll be back.
I say a lot of things, but I don't think I say that. I don't
Wash
think
my
so.
ass is great. That's my favorite one for sure.
Yeah, so, but yeah, I think
that's all we got.
I think that's all we got this week. We're at an hour 10. We were going for 45 minutes.
We said, hey, we're gonna do 45 minutes.
yeah. Boy, were we
like
wrong.
to talk.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Nah, but we haven't been together in a while, so it's
Yeah,
only right.
felt
It's
good.
only right, man. But
We had a lot of shit to get off our chest.
before we leave out of here, yo, you got your new job. Congrats to you. Congrats to G. Shout out to G, man. She got a new job, man.
Congratulations, G.
Yeah, so
G.
you may not see G in outside a lot. You know what I'm saying? So if you're gonna pull up and be like, oh, I pulled up here, I came to see G. She's not there.
She's not there.
She's home.
I am not there.
She's home watching her shows
Or I'm
on a Saturday
sleeping.
night.
Or I'm
yeah,
sleeping.
or sleeping. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
I'm a
so,
corporate girly now. So.
Right. So shout out to
I've
G.
relinquished all 17 jobs
Right.
to
Good.
go to one.
Right.
Good.
So we're gonna see how this works out for me. Hopefully,
Yeah.
it's good.
It's gonna work out.
It's gonna work out. You're gonna
So-
be great. We're proud of you. Super proud of you.
Super
Yeah, my
proud of you,
mom's
dog.
like ecstatic.
Absolutely.
And
I can
it's
imagine.
funny because I'm like, without her saying it, like, oh, thank God.
Yeah.
Like, you know, without her saying that, she said it. And she
Yeah.
definitely was like, you know, I was telling her about like, you know, it has benefits and like health insurance. And she's like, the first thing she says is not like, oh, that's a good like healthcare provider.
Right.
It's okay,
Oh, yeah.
so get pregnant next year and
remember
then
you
have a
saying that.
baby in 2026.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Oh.
excuse me? Like, I didn't even start my first
It's
day
time.
yet. And
It's
that was
time.
the first comment. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah,
That's
it's time.
hilarious.
So yeah,
Okay, Mom.
So yeah, but shout out to G for that, man.
Yeah,
Scoot,
congratulations, G.
You got anything going on? You got
Nah, man. Nah, nothing, man. I'm super happy to be back with y'all, man.
Absolutely,
for real.
for sure.
This is always
Same.
great. This is
Same,
always good for me, man. And that's about it, y'all. Take care of yourselves. It's getting cold out there, man.
Yes.
The flu is
Absolutely.
going around. This
Yeah.
new
Take your
COVID strain is
vitamins.
going around. Take
Yeah.
your vitamins. Get some drink some water.
Yes, water.
Do whatever routine you need to do, and just
Right.
take
Cover
care of
your
yourselves. Yeah.
Right,
Cover your head when you're outside.
Love on your people too, man. It's
Wash
hard
your
out here.
hands.
This is a hard time of the year.
Absolutely.
Love on your people.
Absolutely. Yeah, man. For me, all I got is like, you're going to see the stickers. The stickers are going to be everywhere, 7 p.m. in Philly. If you see them motherfuckers, take a goddamn picture.
Let us know.
Take a picture.
Shoot.